More with Alex with a breakdown on St. Mary's a little bit later on in the program. The Mid-South, meanwhile, starts their spring conference action this weekend with some ranked matchups, of course. Clemson taking on Life. Arkansas State going up against Lindenwood in a top 10 matchup. And with that in mind, we bring in Gift Egbelu, who is our expert on everything Mid-South. How many reps so far, Gift?
Yo, we're going for 100 today. We're going for 100. You know why? Because this is championship conference time, baby. We're here. Super Bowl's over. Now it's time for the Mid-South to take over as the big time.
Oh, we are ready, Gift. As everyone saw in the game this week, obviously the match coming up is pretty huge, especially between Arkansas State and Lindenwood, the two teams you still we need to talk about this week. And then as it happens, they're playing each other, right?
Timing, baby. And you know what? It's one of those games that you know is going to come down to the wire. But both of these teams, I am so excited to be able to talk about everything about them that I got.
Yeah, let's start with on the Lindenwood side of things. Obviously, they had a huge performance last weekend against Oklahoma. What is hot and cold? We're going hot and cold, of course. What's hot? What's cold about Lindenwood?
Look, you got to give a lot of credit, and you got to take a lot from a performance that ends with a 71-0 finish in Lindenwood's favor. And you know what? When you watch Lindenwood, it makes perfect sense. This is a team that is strong in its scrums. It's fast in its backs, and its power all over in its flankers. And that's who we want to be able to focus on today in its flankers. Tanashi Mushina at number 8. This guy is a beast. This guy is able to push the pile. He's not a scorer, but he's a disruptor, especially for the way that Lindenwood plays. And the other one are at number 6. I didn't say at number 6 and number 7. I said at number 6. You got two of them. You got Kyun Darling, and you got Isaiah Faluaka. Both of these guys are a dynamic combo in the rotation at number 6. Kyun Darling usually is starting off the games. This is a guy with a high rugby IQ. He's so great within the lineout. And this guy knows how to get to the ball. But then you come in with the popper of Isaiah Faluaka, who is the bumper. He's the guy that you use to create the suction that is used for Lindenwood's offensive attacks. Lindenwood uses these guys, these forwards, to be able to bring a defense is in, and it opens it up wide all day for the backs. And you'll see it, Tyron, Al-Jabori, and the rest of the backs groups are able to just make mincemeats of defenses after that.
So, I mean, for a top 5 team, obviously there's a lot of hot, but for their cold, what is their biggest challenge this upcoming spring?
The biggest cold that they're going to have is going to come, ironically, within the props. They have a lot of issues when it comes to a lot of push from that front row. Now, mind you, they got great locks to be able to set them up, but their props still get very high, and what that can mean is that they lose a lot of balls in the scrum, or lose more balls in the scrum. It's about a 50-50 shot. Outside of that, yo, this is a Lindenwood team that looks to make a resurgence and come back into those semifinals again.
Yeah, the wins over Army and Navy in the fall obviously shows you how good they can be. Let's go to the Arkansas State side of things now, really getting a chance to see them for one of our first times here this spring, here in 2020, against Lindenwood this weekend.
Absolutely, and you know what? This is another team that is very similar to the way that Lindenwood rocks. Now, like you said, there's not too much that we've been able to see, but they've played a little bit of games, a few good warm-up games, and one thing that you can say about them from a hot standpoint is this is an athletic team, and this is a team that is used to being the strongest team on the field, and they perform like it. They move the ball very quickly off the offloads, and they're able to make the breakaway speed at the backs. Namely, again, their centers very fast, their wings very fast and able to cut through.
So for them, obviously another team that's I mean, all these Mid-South teams are really good. Arkansas State, a top 10 team. What's their biggest challenge?
The challenge for them, that cold, is the cold, where they are a team that I don't think they've been able to see what they can do. Last year, they took Lindenwood to the grinder and took it to the edge, losing 19-18 in the quarterfinals. But this year, I don't know if they're going to have that same strength. They're a little bit sloppy, even in their defense. They come off a little bit too quick when it comes to their offloads, and it goes more fast and smooth on a lot of occasions. And if you look at their defense, while they do a similar thing like Lindenwood, where they try and swarm the edges, what it ends up doing for better teams is gives them a great offload to take over around the corner. So for Arkansas State, they need to be able to make sure that they're not getting beat on the breakaways because they're trying to be so aggressive.
Yeah, you mentioned Lindenwood last year. They've had the upper hand in these matchups of 4. Who you like in this game? What's your prediction for this weekend?
Look, again, from the championship conference, they can only have so much. We got Life University, Clemson, and as much as I love to see Clemson be able to do well, Life University is just far too disciplined, far too strong a team for you to just make an errant guess. And honestly, it's going to end up being somewhere what I see as 75-5 game. Clemson's just going to have to keep warming up into this conference.
Okay, what about Lindenwood, Arkansas State?
Now, this is the one that I think is going to be a little bit more closer to the edge. I still believe that Arkansas State has probably the better athletes at the edge, but the overall team complex and the way that Lindenwood uses its forward pack, I look at this as being a 35-17 game in Lindenwood's favor.
Ooh.
Arkansas State, you guys are going to get on the next one, but Lindenwood, it's all Lions all day.
We'll see what happens. You got some more reps to do, right, Gift?
Yeah, bro, look. We got to go. It's champ weekend, baby.
From GiftTime Rugby. We'll talk to you next week, Gift. See ya.